Ready.
This meeting will please come to order, 6:30. We'll continue with roll call. Mayor Pro Tem Odilia Reyes. Alderman Pablo Martinez.
Here.
Alderman Chris Flores.
He's not gonna be in the room.
Alderman Alvaro Lopez.
Here.
Alderman George Hernandez.
Here.
And Mayor Garcia, present. Let us rise for a moment of silence and pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Please be seated. Item 3, public comment from the audience.
No, sir, no.
And then item 4, public hearings. Item 5, consent agenda. All of the following items are considered to be self-explanatory by the city council and will enact with one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a council member requests. Okay, A, approval of the minutes for the meeting of February 21, 2022, and a special call workshop, February 5, 2022.
Members of the council, any discrepancy you may do?
I didn't see any myself. I make a motion to approve the minutes of February 22nd.
And the workshop, February 5, 2022.
Yes, in the workshop of February 5th, 2022.
Motion made by Alderman George Hernandez to approve the minutes for February 21, 2022, and the minutes for the February workshop, February 5, 2022. All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries. Minutes have been approved. Okay, B, approve and accept letter of resignation by Mayor Pro Tem Odilia Reyes. And before we accept the resignation, I would like to read the letter that she forwarded. Okay, it says, March 1, 2022, City of Gregory, Texas. Dear Mayor, City Council, Gregory agency members, City Secretary, and City Administrator. I have been proud to serve the citizens of Gregory in various capacities. First, as a former member of the Park Advisory Board, and currently as alderman and member of the Gregory EDC. At this time, my commitments to my family, my health are a priority, and I feel it is best to resign as alderwoman and as a member of the Gregory EDC. My resignation is effective March 1, 2022. Sincerely, Odilia Reyes. There it is. Some comments.
Yeah, I got a comment because Odilia Reyes was one of the ones that, one of the ladies that brought me into this, to run this, for city council member. She was a real strong lady. I highly look up to her for all this stuff that she did to the city. Fortunately that she was coming to the end of retirement and she was retired from her previous job, and her grandkids were growing up as she was helping us over here. So she wanted to spend more time with family, which is, I give her all the props. You know, she did everything over here that I like, and she was the one that got me into being where I'm at right now. So I'm gonna give that props to her, and we're gonna miss her over here.
Before a motion, I just want to say, I want to thank her for giving her time to the city. It's not that easy to just give her time away from your family to the city. You know, it takes a special person. So I just want to thank her for her time for being a councilwoman and her time for being involved with the EDC for this work.
Mr. Lopez?
I have nothing.
Well, me and myself, Mayor, I've known Ovidia for about 11 months, and she was the Mayor Pro Tem. And believe you me, that woman can move, and she went to a lot of places that I couldn't make because of my own commitments. And I was very grateful and I appreciate her very much because she went out there and represented the city of Gregory in places where I couldn't go. I'm very pleased and very proud of her services, and we're gonna miss her, that's all I can say. But she did a great job. Okay. Now, I think we need to bring a motion to accept her resignation. Motion on the floor to accept the resignation of Mayor Pro Tem Ovidia Reyes as a Mayor Pro Tem and also as an elder person.
I make a motion to approve the letter of resignation by Mayor Pro Tem Ovidia Reyes, effective March 1st, 2022.
Motion made to accept the letter of resignation from Ovidia Reyes. All in favor?
I'll second.
Second.
I'll second.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. The resignation of former city elder person, Ovidia Reyes, has been approved. Passed. Okay. Having said that, we'll continue. Item number 6. Presentations. Number A, update by Mrs. Mary Afuso on secondary water line through EDA grant.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, the council. I promised I would come and talk to you in person. Last time I spoke to you, I had, things looked good, but I had no information. Today, I have information, but no details. And I am pleased to tell you we've received a verbal notice that the city has been approved for EDA to get the water line done. So I'm so thrilled, and I'm really happy that EDA saw the need that they know. We are going to get something now. How much we're going to get? We did request $3 million. I don't know, and then Norma doesn't know yet either. She hasn't gotten the information either. We don't know exactly what they're going to do. Let me share with you what's going to happen next. We are going to get a letter, and this week or next week, or the week after, but we're going to be getting a letter telling us what they've approved. They're going to ask us to give us the amended match request. It's probably going to be less than our initial match request because they're probably going to give us a little less than we asked for. Maybe they'll give us more. They won't give us more. I wish they would give us more, but they probably won't. And so we'll get that in line. They may have some additional technical questions, and we'll get Mr. Vieira involved with that. They did ask us if they were to offer us less, if we could work with that, and we consulted with Mr. Vieira, and he said that was acceptable, but that we certainly could do more if we got the full amount.
Right.
But the wonderful news is that they are going to support this initiative, and we are going to be able to get the primary water line in, and we are thrilled. EDA this is ARPA money that they are spending on this, and the Coastal Bend has gotten 2 out of 3 projects that we funded, and the COG will be right here lockstep with you to help make sure that it gets put in. And we are also are sharing with the aldermen that we are working with other agencies to see if we can find some other money to help fund water projects and other projects here in Gregory to continue economic development, because you guys are right in the thick of it, and you need the support because you've got the activity here, but it's only one person, she can't do that much by herself. We all need to help work together as a region, because as Gregory goes, so goes the region, and we at the COG are here with you. Your prosperity is our prosperity, and we're just so thrilled to be working with you on this. Is there any questions?
No, the only thing I'm gonna say, we appreciate everything that you've done for us. We were hoping always for more, but we will grab anything that is coming our way. And we will, as a city, will prosper with that. And, again, anything that you can help us and you see something out there that we can benefit from, we really appreciate you telling us and working with us on that.
We will come to you with more. Also, as long as I have your attention, I hope it's all right if I bring to your attention that the GLO money is going to be coming available soon. Okay, so if I know it's not on your agenda.
That's fine.
I don't wanna, but
That's fine.
the COG is responsible for the mitigation of that money. We are putting the method of distribution, and the city will be eligible to apply for funds on that. We are putting together the method of distribution right now. If you go to the COG website, we are accepting comment for planning until tomorrow. And this is just a planning. We haven't finished the method of distribution yet. But I encourage you, if you get a chance today or tomorrow, to get on the website and give us your thoughts, or even shoot me an email and say, this is where we think the priority should be. Water is a good one to talk about, because there's going to be 179 million in the region to be spent on hurricane affected areas. And of course, you guys are right in the thick of it. So, and there is going to be some funding in this region. I don't know how much the city's going to receive. I don't know how much the county's going to receive, but I know there is going to be some here. So I'll make sure that you are all aware of what's available and what's coming, but I know there's something. Are there any questions on that?
I wanted to ask you, could you see to your crystal ball and maybe a time for that grant for the water?
As far as when the
Because
water is going to come?
time is of the essence. It's very important.
Well, for the water grant, we're hoping to get the letter this week. We are hoping to be able to break ground within 90 days. If we can, if they will get us, but I can get you a better idea once we get the letter finished as far as EDA turning around.
This town's been waiting for a long time. We can wait a couple of more, days, so.
Yeah, but not much more, sir. We have to really have to get this moving.
But like you were saying, for what's coming up,
Yes,
keep me or keep the council in tune. Don't hold back, anything that you think that is an asset to the city, I really want to know.
we definitely will make sure that we keep you in the loop. But this money belongs to the community, and we'll make sure to assist you in making sure you have access to it. But gentlemen and ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your support, and we're excited that it's going to be spent in the region. We're never leaving anything on the table, right?
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Wow, that's great news.
I'm going to sleep good tonight.
A little less, we can live with 500 less, 1,000 less.
Okay, we'll go to item B, update by Mr. Ellen Jameson on the municipal complex.
Thank you again for inviting me to update on what's going on Air Street. Greg's got, I hate reading off of it because y'all have already read it, some of the high points, which are basically the progress photos. So now we're starting to see things, or we're starting to do things inside that you can't see unless you're inside. So, wherever you are.
I'm going.
Y'all care?
Let me tell you, you get close to those buildings and they look big.
All right, so we're starting framing both buildings. This happens to be the city hall side of that building. This is it's at that kind of the halfway point where one side is that building, one side is this building. So go next. Again, that would be I guess the corner closest to us. I haven't memorized whose offices those are, but I think that maybe there's an EDC office over there, I believe. And that's the door that goes out towards what? Towards the east side, I guess. Next. More of the same. Here you see a bunch of all the duct mains are installed, so for supply and return. So now once the ceilings are in, which is a ways out, they'll do the drops from the mains into the specific rooms.
I have a question. City, the duct work and everything we see up above, is that gonna be visible to the people once it opens? Is it gonna be an
So you have
open ceiling?
You have the ceiling just like this.
Okay, that's what I was saying.
Your mechanical spaces, your electrical rooms, they will not have ceilings, but
Everything visible?
Yeah.
To the people?
the public spaces and offices and such. Next. More of the same. Just a lot going on, and that end of the building is pretty dense with offices. So there's been a lot of focus on that. This is only about a week's worth of progress too. So they're knocking it out. You see all the material on the floor ready to go up. Next. That's standing kind of between council chambers and community center, looking to the city hall side. Next. Okay, the roof doesn't actually have a curve in it. I don't know why or how that picture got like that, but that's the wall with all the windows facing that way. South. Good news. So when Tony was over a couple weeks ago, he asked the question, how come those two walls, one wall on that building, one wall on the fire station, you're done everywhere else? Well, there's a part in there called a shadow box that the installation of those shadow boxes starts tomorrow. Okay. Probably take a week or 8 or 9 days to get them installed. Once those are in place, the cladding will go on and it will be a finished 4-sided building. So next. That's the air side view. Next. More of the same. Next. Okay, that's the other direction. Next. And this will be just for reference. Okay. If that's south, then what is that?
That would be west.
West. Okay, west facing.
So that's the main entrance?
Yes. So the back up a couple, Greg, to the other side of the building. Keep going. Keep 1 or 2 more. Okay. So if I'm pretty sure that traffic will come in off of Ayers here. There'll be parking here. There'll be parking here. Keep going.
Forward.
Yes, hold it. There'll be parking out here. There's 12 spots out here, and then of course parking up against the building, and then the exit will be back on. So you're coming in and coming out. That's the traffic flow. Okay.
So the main office is gonna be facing the main street?
This is the main office, or suite of offices over here.
The railroad tracks?
The road
Yeah,
tracks, yes.
which is main.
Yes.
And would you, what's considered a lifetime for those buildings? 100 years?
How many times it is already good? They're rated for 145 miles an hour. Okay. I don't know how to answer your question indefinitely, but that's not an answer. That's a non-answer.
The city hall we have here, how old is it? 50 years?
Since 86.
86.
Since 86.
86.
14, 34, 36 years. And it's not worn out, I don't.
And they need some,
But it needs work.
not one.
And I think the answer is depending on how much work you put into it.
Yeah.
Kind of like you and me.
Building.
The more we work on it.
Listen, city hall right now, it's overworked or overloaded.
I don't know the answer to the question, and I don't know if there's a lifespan.
If I get there, I'll let you know.
All right, keep going. Okay, that's more of the city hall side there, Nick. Okay, so this is the built out section of the fire station. The chief's office, general storage and electrical. Well, this is a little mechanical room, and this is a shower, toilet, dividing wall, washer, dryer, and kind of clean up, change room.
Dressing room for all the bunker gear.
Now the bunker gear will be on lockers. Forgive me, there's either 20 or 40 lockers. Okay, and half of them are on that wall, and half of them are on this wall. Next. More of the same. We've got. Keep going, Greg. Okay, keep going. That's the what is it, Alamo Street side. Where am I at? Okay, all the doors are in. The overhead doors are in. We got a clash with one of them that we're working through, and we need to move one of the beams because the mounting hardware doesn't, for the doors, has a spring that big around. It's clashing with a piece of steel up there, so we're working on a fix for that. But that fix is being designed as we speak and probably be implemented in the next week or 10 days. So that issue goes away. It's that middle door right there that is our problem child, but we've got a good plan to fix it. Next, more of the same. The doors are, of course, electric with a manual pull if you're up to it. So this is the other wall that has been delayed, but like I said, we're going to start tomorrow on finishing out that wall. All the glass is in, and that's all I got. Yeah. Couple of things. We had a good program. Maybe last week, maybe the week before. I apologize. Basically, we drafted a nice little letter and kind of apologized. Our group was those people who live on airs or whose property, if they live on one of the side streets, the property butts up to airs. Kind of, hey, pardon the mess. We're working through it. And at the bottom of the letter was, if you see something, say something. We're very vulnerable right now. We've had great success to date with nothing bad happening. It could change tonight. Okay.
Rapid in place.
And we want eyes working for us, and we had a really good response to that. And I was told though that some of the potholes need to be repaired. I said I would turn that over to.
They're being repaired at this week.
I know, y'all came through and did a bunch, but anyway.
I only do one at a time.
I can't name names, but anyway, so that worked out well for us. A couple of things that I need to get to Norma to get to you, and those are the two AEP easements. AEP fine. I shouldn't talk poorly of them. We finally got what we needed out of AEP, and that's poles installed and cable on poles. So we're really close to within a month of having a live line along airs. AEP owes me the easements for you to sign, for you to keep a copy, and then get a copy back to them with your signature. Utility easements, utility accounts. Okay, Mr. Cannon, we probably need to work on that. I don't know the exact process, but somebody does.
We've already
We've
started.
already started the
Oh, okay.
process. We've already gotten the ESI, so once you are able to give us an okay or it gets inspected, I can send it over to AEP. And
But you don't buy from AEP, do you?
we're getting, now, it'll be through,
Your retailer.
Reliant,
Okay.
right, but AEP is the one that's gonna, they do audits and stuff.
Okay.
And then they just get billed through.
Well, you sound like the subject matter expert. Okay, for the water tower,
Mhm.
we need to do a meter transfer, not a change of service. Because we're gonna replace the meter. We're coming in at opposite sides of the, we can talk later about it. But it's not new service, because there's already existing service to the water tower. It's a meter transfer. Okay?
All right.
Couple other things we need to look at. So we have a DOR, Division of Responsibility within the contract between the city and GCGB. Basic landscaping and grass. We probably need to talk about that and what is basic, okay? Telecoms and security, we've got a bit of a scope gap. There's work identified by others, and Greg and Mr. Cano have worked on that. I expect a proposal back this week, and we'll work through it. Does it have everything that y'all are expecting, or does it have too much? Flagpole, I'm working on that. I've heard that there's no sentimental value to the one that was taken down. You did like that? I want to price up a new one for you. And electrical service, I already hit that one. So,
You need 2 flags or 2 poles? One for City Hall, party park. Oh, separately. It's in the budget.
We can talk about that in the budget. That's been,
you got anything for me?
Nope.
Good.
thank you.
You're welcome. Still on schedule.
Good, Mr. James. That was my question. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you. All right. Okay, let's continue with item C. Introduction of new police officer in the administrator oath to Mr. Audencio Cardenas as chief of police for the department.
Mr. Mayor, council members, I'd like to introduce 2 new officers. Originally, there were to be 3, but there were some issues. So anyway, 2 new officers, your 2 new officers are Amanda, would you stand up? Amanda Butler, she started today's first day. She's a 6-year veteran, and she comes to us from the city of Portland. It's important to note she has a bachelor's degree as well.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Welcome.
Officer Brian Zavala. Brian Zavala's got 7 years' experience in law enforcement, and he holds a master's degree. So you're getting some educated officers here in the department. Thank you, Brian. Thank you both for coming. Appreciate you both. At this time, I'd like to go ahead and turn the reins over from my past position as chief of police to your new chief of police. And I really am proud of Buddy because I trained him in the police academy. And he worked for me in the city of Portland. You're getting a quality officer, knowledgeable, very self-contained, doesn't have emotions in the way he works, and he's going to continue in a good path for the city of Gregory, and I think you're going to see that. You're going to see some good things happening in the police department. Buddy, would you step up, please? We're going to swear him in today, tonight. Buddy, I want you to take the oath of office here. Raise your right hand, please. In the name and by the authority of the state of Texas, state your name. I
Audencio Cardenas,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office
that I will faithfully execute the duties of the office
of Police Chief for the City of Gregory,
of Police Chief for the City of Gregory,
of the State of Texas,
of the State of Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve,
preserve,
protect,
protect,
and defend the Constitution and laws
and defend the Constitution and laws
of the United States
of the United States
and of this state, so help me God.
and of the state, so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Go Tia! Go Tia!
Appreciate it. Yes, sir.
Look forward to working with you. Congratulations. Chief.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Looks like this town just became a little better.
Officers and Amanda and Cardenas, welcome aboard.
Thank you.
And I know we're getting some winners. This,
Sir,
welcome.
we're looking forward to
Thank you so much, Mr. Zavala, Officer Butler. Thank you for the time. Nice.
And Mr. Cano, also, sir, you did a great job as police chief.
Oh,
We welcome you aboard as the new administrator for the city.
thank you. I appreciate your help. We're gonna do our best.
I know you'll give it all the best.
I'm gonna try.
Welcome aboard.
Mr. Kubache, looking at the three agendas, you think we need your presence for the three agendas coming?
Probably not.
Probably not.
Thank you.
Well, welcome.
It's a full night.
Yeah.
I'm your city attorney. Try not to sit on that.
Okay, let's continue with item number 7, action items. The following items are for consideration, discussion, and action. Consideration with possible action to approve resolution 2022-03-01, a resolution of the City Council of the City of Gregory, Texas, suspending Centerpoint Energy 2022 annual grid adjustment for the South Texas Division for the natural gas services provided to citizens of the City of Gregory, Texas, and providing for an effective date.
This is something that, council members, this is something that we do every year. Normally, you want to elaborate a little bit on this?
Okay, this is on the increase I gave you in your packet, shows you the information that was brought in as far as the rates that they will be looking into taking effect. So, you can either, take no action, you can either suspend, that would be something that you may wanna look into. It's gonna give you your adjustment change to repeat from, the proposed, adjustment rate for, the citizens, which would be our residential customers, is going to be $2.11, which currently they're being charged $24.92 with the additional $2.12. If their, monthly bill will be $27.03 with an increase of, $2.11. You can suspend this for 90 days. which, it will probably take effect, but, you can hold on to it and not take any action for at least 90 days.
Isn't this part of
We do, well, they usually bring it, the adjustments, they bring them in usually yearly to us. And normally what the council has been doing in the past is been suspending any action for the grace period of 90 days.
Typically, in the past, just about every city does the same way. They all suspended, so it'll give the citizens a break before they can actually get into on the rates. So yes, we have a choice. We can vote on it and move forward with the rates that they're offering, but we can suspend it and just like everybody else.
Then he comes back.
It'll come back,
So it's just, basically just suspended.
So we need a motion to suspend this resolution.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2022-03-01. Everything is in the program.
Motion to approve resolution 2022-03-01 by Alderman Pablo Martinez. Need a second?
Not second.
Okay, second by Alvaro Lopez. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, the resolution is being approved. Okay, we'll go to item B. Consideration with possible action to approve resolution 2022-03-02. A resolution authorizing the mayor attested by the city secretary to accept additional funds from Regional Transportation Authority. Okay, that's for the OTA.
What additional funds are we accepting? Oh,
It's 10,000, it's on your resolution, it's 10,914.
but is that besides what we're receiving annually, or is this?
No, this is your annual. This is it, what we're gonna get annual, this annual, based on the 21 revenues that they have received, this is what they are gonna be giving us. Each year you get so much. I think last year was 11,000. Okay, so this year they're giving us $10,914.
So it keeps going down.
So we've been recovering every year.
Every year, yes, sir. It's a percentage of whatever they collect.
Not every year, it changes annually.
Well, yeah, last year's was 11, this year it's 10, almost the 11.
That's promotion.
Okay, I need a motion to approve this resolution 2022-03-02, authorizing the mayor attested by the city secretary to accept additional funds from the RTA.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2022-03-02.
Okay. Motion to approve by Pablo Martinez, resolution 2022-03-02. Second,
I second
second by Alvaro Ortiz. Lopez, excuse me. All in favor? Aye. All opposed? Okay, this resolution 2022-03-02 has been approved. Sorry about that, Alvaro. I keep calling you Chicano. Okay. Okay, item C, consideration with possible action to approve resolution 2022-03-03, a resolution of the city of Gregory accepting the low bid for the Colima Street improvements and extension project. Okay.
I've given you a packet up there that I placed on you. Mayor, you had yours in your envelope. It's giving you all the breakdowns that Robert has submitted to you, giving you the bids, the bidders, and their recommendation as to what they're recommending to you.
They're recommending CK Newberry out of Collins City.
Who was that?
CK Newberry? They're out of Collins City.
Who's recommending?
Sorry.
Aduro?
Yes, sir.
On the cover letter, I think it's got an addendum for 1 and 2 based on the one for the concrete and the one, I believe, the other was for. Shoot, I can't remember what it is. I'm missing.
Yeah, number 1 was for to replace the water line.
The water line.
And yeah, and then number 2, the additive was to go with the concrete right there in front of the cement plant. That was additional to the base bid, both of them.
I'm very surprised not to see a regular contractor that shows up.
Yeah. Chief, I'm sorry. I still call you Chief. What are we gonna call you?
We all have the same. I think you can still call him chief. Even
Can
if
we,
he's
you're not gonna get offended?
big chief, little chief. We all, Judge Diaz was asking the same, like.
I actually texted him earlier in the week. So he said,
whatever you want.
So have you looked into this?
Yes, with the Colima Street?
Yeah.
Yes, I went out to the scene and out the site and also pre-bid openings and bid openings.
So the recommendation they're asking for,
They're evaluating all the bidders and they give us their recommendation, who they work with, who they, do the job, who's reliable. So this is their seal.
So what do you-
Hector can answer any questions you might have.
I'm asking you,
Yes, sir.
what do you think?
I'd like to go with what Ardura recommends, because they have the experience on that side. They know.
I agree. Robert and Hector are very knowledgeable with.
Right.
Yeah, and we'd work with them on a couple of projects, street projects already, so they're a good contractor.
Okay, I'm good with that.
Just that I can't do the addition and top of my head with a total.
Like I added them up. The total base bid plus both additives would be like $584,234.70.
That's what I was looking for. So
Yeah, that's with the base bid, and then going with replacing the water line that runs, across that field, because it's a AC asbestos cement, and then going with the concrete in front of the concrete plant. But if you go with the asphalt, the base bid plus just doing the water line, you're looking like $407,271.10.
Hector, so what's gonna be the final cap, number 9 rock, hot mix? We're definitely not doing curb and gutter, right?
No, it's actually on the new across the field. It's 10 inches of limestone base with 2 inches of hot mix, and then where we have a geogrid there in there, geogrid reinforcing underneath the base, and then in front of the plant, we're going with another, because there's a lot of base already there, because they keep on adding. We're going with another 4 inches, adding 4 inches of new base, and then going with 2 inches of hot mix. We're also putting the geogrid.
How many inches of hot mix?
2 inches.
2 inches.
2 inches.
So if we don't have a curb, what's gonna keep the foundation from breaking up at the ends on the outside of the streets?
We usually go out like a foot or so with the base, and then so you add that little of the limestone outside the base. So I know they drive off it, and then if you just have the asphalt to the end of the base, it starts chipping off, but we're gonna extend the base underneath like a foot out. So you have kind of like a shoulder, like a base shoulder.
What is the life expectancy of something like that, in your opinion?
With maintenance, because you probably get 10, 15 years, but then you would have to maintain it, or if you get a crack or something, you would have to seal it and stuff like that, just to keep the water, from intruding into the base
So
and
you
then
think,
creating potholes and stuff like that.
so you think with a curb being added to it, it would prolong the life of the road?
It would help with, I guess, with the edges, but I know it's kind of, you have that field, so you could put a curb, but it's not really necessary because the road's gonna be higher than the field, so everything's gonna drain off into the field.
Yeah, basically.
Usually when you put curb and gutter, the property, they're higher, so everything drains into the curb and gutter. But in this, it would be, the curb and gutter would be higher than, the field. So really, it's just whatever's in the road would run through the curb and gutter.
What's it gonna have for a runoff? They wanna have a ditch in there or culverts?
Well, there's culvert crossings. There's a couple, because I know there's water that goes across that field. So we have a couple of crossings across the road, to help, keep the water draining across that field.
Chief, are you overseeing this construction?
Well, we just started, we just opened the bids up.
Okay.
So
Are we gonna have one of our guys overseeing it? If
Right.
not a city
We'll try to
employee?
be on top of it, definitely. And, some other thing to consider, Hector, I don't know if we talked about this or not, but we had considered approaching, the cement company and the ice company, Baytown Ice. They had at one time, I wanna say it was about a year ago, they had talked to us about, getting involved and contributing to the building of that road and helping us with it. So that may be something of a lower cost too. We haven't approached them.
Especially with something like they're gonna be using it. I mean, it is definitely wanna talk about them, having, contribute to what the road is gonna be for their benefit as well.
Yeah, because I think the concrete's gonna benefit them more than the city,
Exactly, so I think they're gonna be benefited more than any of the city, people that live here. So why not get them involved and pitch in something that's gonna be feasible for the city? As far as the curb and stuff like that, it's something different, but if a contractor is gonna be using it more than a regular citizen, I think contractors should be in on it, on putting something into it if it's possible. And I think Chief, if you can run with
Reach out
that.
to Live Oak and to Baytown and ask them if they're willing to come on board and assist us with the cement part, the areas that they use for their heavy trucks.
Those cement trucks are heavy.
If not, we can put no heavy truck signs over so many pounds. And if they do, we can.
That's gonna be really difficult because that's their only in and out of their businesses.
Exactly, but it is a street that is not there now.
And I see George's point, but half of the street, George, it's gonna be concrete, it's already concrete, right?
Right now it's caliche.
Caliche.
On the live oak?
And some asphalt.
Yes.
Okay, but what we're being proposed is to go just halfway, right, or all the way?
Right there from where Live Oak is out to 35 bypass or access for cement.
Yeah, up to the lift station. I don't know if you know where the lift station is at, the Colima Street lift station.
Just right there.
Okay.
What's it gonna be, a 10-inch concrete or 6-inch?
What I'm saying that they're not using it right now because it's not there. Am I correct?
No, they're using it.
They're using it.
They're
But
using
it's
just their Caliche road. That's how they go in and out. they create a lot of dust, but it's all Caliche Road, and they use it. And they're in and out all day, especially the cement trucks. Baytown Ice isn't out that many, cement trucks.
So 80% of the time it's gonna be construction, it's caliche, big trucks.
I would agree.
Why are we putting in,
Was a project that the council had agreed on doing, extension of Colima Street. And with that came that. They were there first.
But the Livo, the cement company, they're not gonna be driving through Colima, they're just gonna be driving from their,
They're in.
Yes,
their end
correct.
to 35, the frontage road of 35.
We'll prohibit them from coming in the other way.
Yeah, and we have
We have an ordinance.
an ordinance, and I think the limit is 20,000 throughout the whole city.
Right. And
Okay. 20,000 pounds.
That's why you don't see them driving
Yeah.
through there.
And if they do require to go through one of the city streets, I think they have to come in for a permit.
And the only time they're allowed to do that is on delivery. And any truck, if they're making delivery,
yeah,
it's not
if they're
their
making a
fault.
delivery, we're getting something out of it.
Yeah, they have to make a delivery.
Okay. You know, so
It's,
long as we,
well, we can approach them. That's what we
Well,
can
that
do.
was the plan,
Yes.
whether we pay fully or partial, but that was the plan to approach them for, with assistance,
Yes.
funding.
Hector, are you in agreement on that? I'm trying to approach them, get some funding from them.
Yeah,
I mean-
we could approach them and see, because I know they produce concrete, so maybe they could supply all the concrete to the contractor, and then we could deduct that from the contractor's price.
And you know what, that's a plus on that. If they do that, it's a plus on our side, because
Mhm.
we cannot stop anybody from using a road. We can,
Yeah.
Like I said, we can keep an eye on it, but we're not there 24/7.
Plus,
So,
No.
plus Commissioner Nina Trevino, well, now it's Lopez, Sonia, that had agreed, we entered into a local agreement with her, right, as far as, she agreed to help us out with the machinery.
If it's available,
If it's available.
yeah, because they're doing their roads also. So whenever they come in is when they have availability of their equipment in their man.
And maybe possibly purchase the materials at her cost, at the county's cost. That would also save us some money there as well. But regardless, whether we get no funding, no help, no assistance, that's the bottom, the bottom number, Hector, 500.
Yes. Yeah, for everything, you're looking at $584,234.70. That's what you're replacing the water line and going with concrete.
Yeah, it's a little bit over our budget. I think we have budgeted like 450,000.
Because we were looking into RT money, and we were looking into some 4B money.
Which we still can, just saying, that's the last result, that's what I wanted them to assist.
well, that being said, that we're under our budget money, I really want them to pitch in and enforce, it's to their advantage for them to at least put concrete, something.
They were talking about it, and they came to a council meeting, at least a year ago, if not two. And they were making that recommendation, suggestion. They were kind of help us with this.
So let's not tell them that if we're gonna go through with it anyway, but let's get them in here, let's get them to see what they can do as far as get a meeting with them. Cause I wanna see, because honestly, we all know that they're gonna use it. So, they need to put their fair share. And
Well, I lost what I was gonna say, 'cause I'm thinking about something else.
So how many?
I was gonna say, yeah, so Norma, I'm sure you can send them a sad letter, hey, this is how much we budgeted, but this is how much is now. Believe it or not, 12 years ago, we were planning on doing this Colima Street.
Yes.
And at that time, it was 64,000. 64,000, 12 years ago. I mean, not 10 years ago, I'm sorry. In 2012, when we came in, we actually tried to do it in the.
So what would be the cost per linear foot?
Oh, let's not get into that. So take 100,000 and 150,000, Norma, and tell them this is how much we got for budgeting. Can you help us with 200? And we'll get 100 from them.
You already put it up.
Well, regardless, I mean,
You know what, honestly, they're gonna benefit on the road, and it's to their benefit for them to do it. And let's see if we can get a meeting with them.
You'll be able to
Or
get a sign,
all we have to do is enforce it.
you'll be able to get a sign, a weight, like the other ones you got.
Oh, yes, on this way, coming out towards the project or coming towards the city.
We just want the roads, I mean, we're gonna spend that money for roads, we want them to last.
It's a win-win, because if you go with cement, obviously it's gonna last because of the trucks, but the community's gonna win also, because they create a lot of dust.
Yep.
So those homes that are right there in that
You
area
know, all of
from the south.
everything's corroding and
not only that, the infrastructure is already there, so once we open up this road,
corroding.
I mean, that's a good potential for development, for residential on both sides, half residential, half commercial.
Plus, it gives them also, their workers a benefit, they can come in and out, in their personal vehicles, easier to work rather than going all the way around.
The most important, besides development, to me, is public safety,
Public safety.
and that's gonna be another entrance in and out, ambulance, fire, police. But, so, right now, Mr. Cano and Norma, what I'm gonna ask is that we look into how much money we have in the RTA and the EDC in case we don't get no help, we're gonna have to dig into it, because we're already past our budget. There's no doubt, like, I remember it was like 400, 450, somewhere.
So, Norma, how under are we? More or less? 100?
Oh, and, no, more.
I think about two.
Two?
Yeah.
All right,
But we, just in case we don't get funded for it, we do have more than that in the 4B, which we can use because it pertains to infrastructure. And the RTA as well.
Well, one of the issues with the RTA also is that it has to meet their goals, so we're gonna have to do some creative writing to get them to. Because they sent us a letter, I don't know if you have it in your packet. No,
To meet their what?
Criteria.
they have a criteria.
criteria meeting. We have to meet the criteria.
Criteria.
One of their examples was that the roadway was a roadway that buses use.
Yeah, so one of the things that they allow us to use the money on, as long as it's handicap, not handicap accessible, but
Emergency?
no, for the buses.
The B-bus.
The B-bus.
Yes.
The B-bus.
The B-bus, and we have different locations in Gregory, so if I'm not mistaken, I think the RTA was okay to using the RTA money in any city street.
As long as, I was telling the chief, they have, excuse me, I'm sorry, little guy here. They do have a bus for the handicapped people that need to go to dialysis, to doctors and all that, but you have to make appointments, so if we can show that those buses are going through our city, through the city streets, depending on where they're at, I think we can fall into the criteria of showing that we are part of it. Now, the only thing is what is going to help us, I think is gonna help us a lot is because of the elderly that live here at the housing authority, whether it be the train that's blocking the way, and they're using the B-bus for their trips to the doctor, dialysis, emergency needs. Our only egress is going to be through Coniva to get up to 35, to get up, out of that neighborhood.
I remember one meeting I had with Mr. former Mayor Zambrano and RTA, and I don't remember the guy's name, but I remember it was real petite. He said, we have a B-bus, the route is goes to next to Stripes, and where your parents used to live in that corner, we have another bench for the bus to stop, the B-bus.
Like, yeah, bus
And
stops.
I believe here in the housing authority as well. And so I remember we were discussing it, well, why can't we just sort of okay for the fundings to be used throughout the city, since the bus not only picks up people here and here, it also picks them up in other locations. And I remember him saying that, yeah, you know what, you're right.
Then you would probably have to sit down and recreate your bus stops. Because the only bus stop that you have currently is there in front of Stripes,
And we haven't seen the B bus
anywhere in town.
You know,
Little bus parts are.
And it could be that maybe that the citizens are not
But we
aware
can
of the
create,
services
we
they
can
have
create
to
a
offer.
route for the.
That's another thing.
in my opinion.
We try to push it because when people call and ask us, because you have the Real and then you have another one, Fluger or something, Flournoy or something that comes in from Rockport. But I encourage people and telling them by calling the RTA and using the little B bus to take them where they need to go.
So as far as I remember,
Okay,
no,
yeah.
then-
Yeah, I'm gonna dig up some emails. I know I got something there.
But that RTA was actually supposed to be used for roads. That's like a trip for here. It didn't matter where the RT, whatever, it was mainly to use for roads and sidewalks.
Let's discuss.
So it should be in there. We had already,
Yeah, we still have to submit to them our plan and our costs.
it's not just, you know, no, it was it's taxpayers' money coming in.
Anyway, Chief, sorry. If I find something in email, I'm gonna share with you, but as you can see, because I know we had some discussion. I know what you have in place, we're gonna go with that for now, but okay, what else I have?
Okay. Moving forward.
Okay, so I need a motion to approve this resolution 2022-03-03. Have to do it,
We're gonna accept the resolution 2022.
Yeah.
The resolution accepting the low bid for the Colima Street improvement and extension project, that's what we're accepting. Then, I think, Hector, once we approve this, resolution, then that's when, you're gonna award it to,
The CK Newberry.
or do we say that recorded? We let go of which to her. Yeah, but the way it's written, the agenda, this is for approving for that.
So let's just go ahead and just say that we are awarding it to the lowest bidder.
Yeah, and that's what.
Yeah, that's what we're just, yeah.
Okay, I need a motion to approve this resolution 2022-03-03.
I'll make a motion to approve that, 2022-003 for the Colima, lowest bid on a Colima street improvement.
Motion made by George Hernandez, approving the resolution 2022-03-03, a resolution of the city of Gregory accepting the low bid for the Colima Street Improvement and Extension Project. You need a second?
I second.
Okay, second by, Alderman Alvaro Lopez. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carried.
Pablo,
Go to item 11, following items for discussion, consideration, and action. Discussion or action item listed below, requested by council member. Reports. Okay, item number 1, report by the city staff.
It's a quiet week, not much to report, a couple water breaks. Talked to Public Works supervisor, Eagle Sanchez, he was telling me there was a water break just outside of town. And we were talking about replacing an old line. The problem is that there's only 3 houses up there.
Which part are you talking about?
Outside of town.
We're talking about the 2-inch line.
Over by Hunt, yes, over by Hunt's property. So what I told him to do is let's just go and repair where it breaks and we'll go and
Again,
again, because we're looking at about $15,000 just to replace that line, our cost for 3 houses. So I think for now, we probably need, because we got other projects going, we probably need to just patch,
that line, the farmers keep breaking. Plus on the side of 181, that's why you see those there's always been that leak there.
Yes.
Before you get to a farm road, whatever it is. And there was actually 7 families there, I think there's only now like 4 or 3.
It's kind of
It's funny that we talk about this because me and the former mayor and Tab, we're on the same project and we're just discussing it. A while back, we were trying to pass that line. It's outside our ETJ. We can't shut them down because PUC won't let us.
Right.
So we're hoping that they will roll over to a Rincon.
Or something.
And that talk we never brought it back to the table. We just left it alone.
Well, there's always that hope that somebody will come in and build something out there and we can negotiate a water line in there.
So the patches that we do when it does happen, is it not cost efficient? I mean, do we spending a lot of money for a patch?
It depends on the clamps.
Okay.
It also depends on the piping that we're using. You get a roll of
excavation, all this.
And the people you have working for your public works, they're doing it themselves. They're not that deep, the lines, so.
Okay. Let's keep it that way. I'm saying.
What a good idea.
We got no choice because PUC, Public Utility Commission, won't let us.
They won't let us shut them off.
So,
we're looking at developments coming in, and we know this. Years are coming in, they're gonna start developing out there.
It would be sad for us to put in $20,000 and then next week we get an announcement.
Yeah, well, they gotta put new line.
And someone's coming in, they're gonna need more than a 1-inch line, or 2-inch line, they're gonna need a 4-inch line.
So Disco Rayado, that line is, we're spending more on repairs than what we're actually getting out of revenue.
But so for the most part, the Public Works has been patching, the streets, trying to fix those up. They're making the cleanup at the wastewater plant, but nothing major to report. As far as the TV, nothing major to report either. It's been pretty good. The fire department, the reason they're not here for about today is because they've had like 4 calls in the last 4 hours. They're in Taft now. Earlier they were out the county road on the grass fire. Now they're out in Taft, so they're not gonna be here on the 6th. But we've made some changes at City Hall, and we're still working on trying to purchase the police cars. That we ran into an issue with our vendor, but we're working on that. Also,
is it gonna cost more from the budget that we set for those cars?
We're trying to do it without doing that. We had budgeted $75,000. We had a price of $36 per car. And then that give us a little bit of leeway for some extra things, the decals and things like that. And not to go into too much detail, but our vendor got very ill and he didn't turn
process. He didn't process anything.
Yes, but they're working with us. His bosses, if you will, they're working with us and they're trying to locate some cars. The thing about it is that we're looking for 2 black cars. So some people say, well, we got white ones, we don't want white, we want black. So that's where we're at.
Okay.
But we're willing to work with them and hopefully they'll work with us. As far as the truck, Public Works has been needing and wanting a 1-ton with a crane. And the issue is that there were a lot of $40,000. Well, they're well above that now. As you all know, our trucks, those of us that drive pickup trucks, they're willing to give us a lot of money for our trucks, but their trucks are worth so much more. So it's hard to buy.
What if we find something out there, private seller or something for something like that?
That's what I've been looking at. I was also looking at used ones that have the crane already and already have the duty boxes on them, service trucks with low mileage and diesels. So it'll be new to us, but used. However, good thing to think about is that it's going to be a 1-ton, so it's not like they're going to be driving it back and forth home. It's going to be something that's going to be serviced around town only. And the idea also with the 2 Dodge 4x4s that we have currently in the PD stock will be going to Public Works, and they'll be driving those trucks. Those have got new tires, new engines, they're well maintained. So our hope is that they'll last a while. Also take one of those white trucks.
move it to the fire department, and then eliminate whatever else. Already eliminated one of the four, Crown Vics, and so we're working on doing that. And we're trying to cut corners where we can.
So the only thing holding us up is the vehicles.
The vehicles right now are holding us up.
Okay.
But currently, the cars or the units we have right now, knock on wood, they're functioning properly.
Good.
And again, you met the two officers, there were three, but Mr. Wilson came on board, 30 days later, he decided he didn't want to work it. It wasn't us, it was something that had to do with personal issues, so.
Mr. Carlos, let's go ahead and force of eight police officers.
8, total of 8, including the chief.
And you still will have an opening.
And right, currently, we have an opening, but we're standing, Chief Carlos and I were talking about it. He's doing good because it's himself and 6, so that'll cover the shifts real well. As long as we don't have a major crime, which will put more of a burden on him. But I explained to him, I'm here to help him, and we'll work together as a team, you know, so we can get more done. But,
So they start already, Butler and
yes, Zavala's already been with us about 30 days, give or take, and Butler started today. But they're experienced officers, they're just taking a 2-week vacation and coming to work here. The only thing that changes is the names of the streets, but the job is the same.
We got a lot of streets here.
Yes, they learn them in the day, for the most part. But I don't think there's anything else to report.
Yeah, the only thing I wanted to let you know that I did some transfers of funds from the general fund into the Texas class. So if you look into your financial report there, look at your general, it jumped under Texas class, general Texas class. I bumped it up to 19 now, I believe it's 19. What did I do?
1,900,000.
Yes, sir.
So I was looking at that, Norma, because, I remember last month was that much.
Oh, yeah, I added, it was at 15, at 100, 1,500,000. So I've added 400 into it. So now it's up to 1,900,000.
Okay.
Stay there.
And like I said earlier, council, you know, hopefully we'll get assistance from live opening, but as I can see, 4B board's got a healthy account.
The 4B has money into the Texas class. I've opened up an account for the Texas class also there for them too. And so I'll probably have to maybe move some more money out there.
So I still want to have some money from 4B to give out to the people that are trying to open up businesses or doing something for the city. So we want to look into that. I know the 4B it's another talk for later days, but we'll get together on that talk.
Okay.
Okay, let's continue.
Okay, what about the generators?
Oh, the generators, we've gotten bids, we're waiting on 3 bids, we only got 1. We're waiting on the bids,
We're waiting for another one to come in.
we'll go with the low bidder, and we'll get the generators for both those, buildings.
And that's the other thing, those bids, we've been holding on those bids for what, 5-6 months?
Mhm.
So,
But I'm supposed to be getting a new one, or a new refresh one. He was talking about the water plant.
Oh, you're talking about the scale?
Oh.
Yes. That's
I'm
different.
sorry.
That's okay, that's good.
We're still waiting on another one. I think it was, Abel went with you and the other guy that went this last time to the water plant.
Right, he did both. He just did the water plant and
And the city, and the
community center
buildings.
and city hall. Right.
I'm just saying because every time I work with contractors, their bids only go for 30 days.
30 days.
So,
Those are two different deals.
yes, it doesn't come down in.
Right, those are two different deals. They're referring to originally fire department and city hall. And then with the water plant needs a.
Okay, let's continue. Volunteer fire department is not here. Number 3, mayor and council members.
I have no report, Mayor.
Nope, I'm good.
Okay, all I've got to say is that, we were running out of volunteers for the committees. And I think pretty soon, the 4B might
I dissolve. So what are we gonna do?
It's out of our hands. I mean, we can't control.
You know,
It's happened before.
I'm surprised that we have four, people that are gonna be running for election. You said last week, four?
Two,
That's-
one on the
or two of us.
Well, there's
There's
three,
only two from out.
there's 3 seats, but now it's gonna be
Yeah, 4 candidates
4 candidates.
and 3 seats.
For one seat.
What, no, because everybody's up for,
Yeah.
Yes, they're election, not.
well, that being said, we can only do as much as we can with the help of volunteers of people in this town. So I honestly would say that, you know what? Yeah, we need more volunteers to come in and help us in the city. But that being said, because we're doing our best, because we don't have to be here. We want to be here.
Yo te el cake, Norma. Ponte el cake para el chief.
No licites.
But we talked about earlier, and I know we want to go home, but we talked about earlier about uniting with the Chamber of Commerce. And
Yes, we did.
Turning it into the Gregory Portland Chamber of Commerce. That may be an avenue. If you guys will wait before meeting.
The conversation that was started as I went to the city hall this morning after work, and I went to the city chamber of commerce in Portland. I am hiring employees for where I work at Spawn Shoreline, for some technicians. If anybody is interested, call me. There's Norma posted it in the city hall, or it's gonna be posted in the city hall. But the conversation struck with me and Mr. Cano that city chamber, Portland has a big city chamber of commerce. And I was surprised that the reading that I was reading on what they had over there. And he was telling me that they invited us to be part of it. So it's gonna cost a pretty penny, and it's really gonna, do we wanna join, or do we wanna stay on our own? So,
We don't have nobody thrown out of this town and experience.
yes, but there's a discussion that we wanna talk. I like it. I think Mr. Cano likes it as well.
I think it's something that we need to look at, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, it may be interesting for us, it may not. I mean, I'm always about what's in it for the city, but
Exactly.
what are we gonna get? I mean, we spend $100,000 and become Gregory Portland Chamber of Commerce, but what's the benefits to the citizens?
We can always bail out if you don't pay.
Yeah, I'm not certain on everything like that, all the legalities, but that's what the majority of the money is for, doing the legal work on that. It's
You know
not
what,
just for the college.
One way of looking at it, if expansion's coming, like it or not, being part of city chamber of commerce, would it help us? I believe so, because they have more people out there that are into stuff like that for investments, and if we can get in there, it might help the city. At the same time, we would expand and broaden our knowing on how to run a city at the same time that I'm thinking, because I come in here blind and I'm learning as I go, and I'm reading as much as I can. And when I read what City of Commerce they had over there in Portland, I'm real surprised at everything they have over there.
It might be interesting for you to look at TML courses. There are any local TML courses, and maybe an overnight deal, maybe 2 days. They hold them all the time, you know, in Austin and in the area. They may have day things, trips, but you learn a lot at those TML conferences and TML training. And it's set aside just for city council and mayors. Good stuff.
And another thing, if we get development out here, maybe 350 rooftops.
Yeah.
With a good chamber, those houses will sell.
Yes, we need to talk to Mr. McElwain very soon also.
He called me about 3 weeks ago, maybe about a month ago. He wants to put a meeting together. And I told him that now that we have a signature, that we need to get you involved with the mayor and Robert. He said Mr. Ayala, in fact, Mr. Ayala called me about 2 weeks ago from Hilltop, and he said as soon as him and McElwain set up a date, we're gonna have like a meeting, not so much a workshop or a council meeting. It'll be a private meeting, and It might, I mean, I asked him if we could invite also either George or Alvaro or Chris. And, if so, we're gonna need a possible one. But it won't be a public meeting. But I'm just waiting for, in fact, I'll reach out to him tomorrow again, and have to refresh it.
That's a good idea. That's a good idea. I mean, we got the fence going around the RV park. You know, I think a good thing to do is try to reach out to like, Dollar General or someone, see if they'll be willing to come into town. But we also have to get the people, the landowners to sell the property so that these people can come in.
So I've been in contact with, Jaime Leon, not De Leon, but Leon, he's the owner of the Jalisco on Port.
Yeah.
And they have 18 restaurants and they've been in business for 40 years. And they're all freestanding buildings, none of them are attached.
I've been in contact with Solis,
And,
and they are willing to help as much as they can to make this town grow in any which way.
I think a Dollar General would be awesome.
so right now we got two prospects from Houston. One of them was a Texan and the other was Catfish Station. They want to come in and build a restaurant in the corner of 2986 and Solis Drive. They want to build a gas station with at least 12 to 18 pumps, almost like a mini Buc-ee's. But they're analyzing the traffic flow and all of this stuff. So
And this
right
again,
now, you know, this Chamber of Commerce sounds like a good idea. We've talked about it before, but we've never moved forward with further discussion. Right now, the only resource we have is in EDC. But
You gotta be involved in that.
Yes.
It's a lot.
again, representation, if we do get involved, we need representation, and we do have to be there at the meetings that we
Get your voice in.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Okay, let's go to item B, future item for the council for the next meeting. What did you want to put in there?
well, we had discussed the generators before. Well, some of those bids were outdated already. I thought it was gonna be on this package, but it's not. Then the splash pad.
Hector is working on getting all that information together from the splash pad.
For the bids.
Yes. And all that.
A lot of cities are starting to.
I got a call from Splash Pad yesterday, but I couldn't take it. I was many meetings at work, trainings, and I forgot to I don't know what he wants.
I talked to Robert last week. Unfortunately, I forget why, but we're not gonna be able to use the what's it called, the government, just, it was in my mind a second ago.
I know what you're talking about.
Where you buy, on the buy board. That's it. So we're not gonna be able to use buy board, so we're gonna have to go out for bids, and Hector's putting the whole package together. So it's gonna cost us a little bit for Adora to put all this together. Again, it's like we just did with Colina Street, opening the bids and all. Making sure they put their seal on it, because we don't have the expertise and the engineering expertise that they've got. So, because we could have somebody come in here and say, I'm gonna build this for you, and let me have this much, and they go out and they don't build a product that we even can use. So this way, we have that guarantee from their engineering side of, that we're getting quality work.
Yeah, a pretty talk is a pretty talk, but you know what, I rather wanna see it in writing and put down what their pretty talk is gonna be talking about.
Well, we
If I don't see it
also,
right
we also
now.
discussed that they have to be Texas engineers. And Robert had brought that up with the, one of the, vendors. And they need to be Texas engineering drawings. And, the ones that we received from Splash Pad, they are. So we're just waiting to see who else is gonna bid, because that's a requirement.
That's what they're doing.
Okay, folks, I wanna go home. Motion for adjourn.
Comments? Time.
I make a motion, 7:54 to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn made by George Hernandez. Second,
I second it.
second by Alvaro Lopez. All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. The meeting is now adjourned at, 7:45.
7:54.